And we're live. If I'm echoing, please let me know. This is supposed to be a geek stream, but well, let's see if I can. I'm going to drop that link in my chat on Discord. See if anyone turns up. If anyone does, they're free to join. If not, oh well. Today I thought I was going to be doing a bit of a geek stream with Hal and Laura, because Laura. I think I said Laura special then. I'm not owning up to that. Yeah, we were going to nerd out last week, but ended up talking about some of the stuff in the news, and I had, when realizing I had a significant amount of articles and videos to go through, I thought, well, I could do a stream on that at some point, just go through them in turn, or just read word verbatim this White Dwarf from July 2017, which I haven't yet read. It's actually interesting. The Primaris stuff is very interesting. I mean, how desperate are you to freshen the entire game then by introducing a superior Space Marine? I mean, you get to keep the Space Marines, only they're better, more expensive. I mean, the minimalist in me is like salivating right now because I quite enjoy smaller armies. I can't be doing with this apocalypse crap. 5,000 points? Give me 1,000 and I'll win. Well, I have to admit, this sword on the Primaris Librarian is rather nice. I never got into the whole non-metallic painting. I mean, I've won a bronze demon when I was younger, and this was before before non-metallic painting was even a thing. Well, it was a thing, but it was nowhere near as popular as it is now. For me, it's like, why? I mean, I get the lightning arcs, but I like the look of a blade, a fresh blade. These ones are all blue. I assume it must be a type of metal that has a blue glow, or if it's supposed to imply a power current of some kind. Then against the Librarian, it's probably a force sword. Or is it a nemesis weapon? Who uses nemesis weapons? I think that might be the Grey Knights. Let's see. June Forge Strength, Primaris Psyker, blah, 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 blah. Yes, your Psychers, I get the point. No mention. That's a shame. I had wondered, because with the canon change, racist Mario. Yes, I see that, Dectran. With the change of Primaris Space Marines, how did they go about creating Primaris Librarians? Librarians in canon are a bit complex. They're not simply created, and, well, some do come from certain gene seed. Most of the loyalists, so therefore the gene stock of the new guys, if you're going with the first founding anyway, don't have many psychers. Then again, you've got second foundings. I'm sure there are some in there, and let's not forget is it the 2nd and the 15th, or is it the 2nd? The unknown legions that joined the Marines. Yeah, I remember that. Let's see, what else is in there? Oh, they've got the new Plague. Oh wow, Plague Marines. Dear God. Oh Jesus Christ, those are some bad looking Space Marines. If you've ever, back in the day, yes, I'm that old. Back in the day, Plague Marines came in this box of 5, and they cost like a £5. And it was a single miniature. It was horrible. It was poorly constructed, and oh dear God, they were so shit. I mean, I never understood why, at the time, Games Workshop made such an effort to make them when they weren't that good. Durability was the only thing. Now they, I guess, they look pretty damn good, I have to admit. But then again, I never really got on board with the whole looking like you're in agony when you're walking. I mean, if you want to make it look uncomfortable, give the guy like a I don't know, a rash on the inside of his leg. That pretty much do it. You don't need to give him pustules and boils as well. And some of these guys are smiling while they've got horns growing out of their skull that are the size of their legs. Their neck strength must be incredible. I'm just saying. What did you think of the Hellboy reveal of Injustice 2? I really wish, and I'm a huge fan of the Hellboy films, I really wish they had done a third Hellboy. Or if they were going to reboot it with Ron. Is it Ron Perlman? Yeah. I think that would have been very, very interesting. For me personally, yeah. I'm not really sure what to think just yet, but it could turn out well. I mean, Hellboy's a really cool character. I read a lot of Hellboy comics. I love the Hellboy in Hell series. It's a short one, but I liked it because it kind of showed him in hell. I mean, who didn't like that? Also, the artistic styling, beautiful. It's very, I don't know, almost looks like it's roughly drawn all the time, which appealed to me. Doesn't look perfect. We're no Emperor's children here. And yes, I'm still talking about Space Marines. I've got that bloody magazine. I'm going to grab it again. Oh, yes. Looking at dodgy Plague Marines. Wait, there's a picture of Magnus in here. For most people who don't know this, my name derives from Warhammer 40,000 as the, well, I'd say the most unknown of the Primarchs. Alfarius being the known one, Omegon being the identical twin, but also not known. Yes, you can ask questions. David Harbour. Okay, interesting. Anyway, Magnus is he was his model not long after it was released on Forge World, which if I could ever afford that, I would have loved to have bought a Primarch miniature of Forge World, but they're like 60 to 80 quid. I can't afford that. But the Games Workshop released a Magnus version as well of him as a full demon prince. And he looks amazing, but I don't quite understand. I mean, in the books, Magnus has two horns coming out of his chest. It just makes it look, right, when I think of that, I'm thinking, Jesus Christ, his nipples are massive. I didn't quite understand why he had them, because if anything, with the weapon he uses, they get in the way, because he can't sweep the weapon up in front of him without hitting those horns. Am I liberal? I have no idea. I've never taken a political test. I don't generally care enough to take one either. But yeah, his armor is impractical. I mean, I get this is probably why Lehman Russ could kick the living shit out of him. His armor is so minimalist. His arms are uncovered. All his joints are exposed. Even as a demon prince, he can get his head ripped off. Although there is a version of him with a helmet, isn't there? Yeah, there is. That's rather. Oh, I guess maybe his face is protected, but his neck is uncovered. I don't get this. You've got the new miniature of Roboute Guilliman, and he is, well, let's face it, he's the English Inquisitor. The link is on Discord on my server. By all means, hop on. Yeah, so for me, Guilliman in the canon, he kind of loses to Magnus, who's starting to beat him, but then Magnus gets beat back by the Grey Knights, I think so. And there's a beautiful Tau in this as well. The XV-104 Riptide. Jesus, the Tau of really advanced. So, he's majestic. He's an angel, really. He's a majestic red skin, beautiful miniature, and then Heresy and pre-Heresy and post-Heresy. But there's a glaring weakness, and I get the whole in canon story of Lehman Russ being able to understand weaknesses of every one of his brothers. Although he never fathomed Vulcan. Like it matters. I mean, Vulcan is a perpetual. He can never die. Well, he can. He dies and then is immediately reborn, regenerated, nearly full strength, I believe. Yeah, not Corax. What was his name? Conrad Kurz killed him quite a number of times, but Vulcan was the strongest physically and mentally. No psychic strength, and the only black man in all of it. I'm talking about Warhammer 40,000 deck trend. Let's see. There's a beautiful, some miniatures from the what do you call it? The Age of Sigmar. I'm done with that. English Inquisitor, where are you? Why are you not here entertaining me with, well, with something? I don't know. I was actually reading, because I'm going to keep talking about Warhammer now. I was reading some Warhammer recently. It was one of the very few books. Oh, it's dead. Fuck it. It was the Horus Heresy book, because I've been reading this since university. I have been loyally following it since 2007 or 6. And the one I've been reading recently is Master of Mankind, which is fucking awesome. To hear more about the Emperor, because then you start to hate the guy, which is brilliant.
I kind of hate the guy anyway, to be fair.
Just one of his. You just can't dig the guy with all that power, right?
No, it's. I don't know what it is.
Nobody likes the Emperor really, because he was playing a game of chess, I think, in the Outcast Dead. That's the book. And in this sort of psychic moment, he was playing chess with Kai Zulain. He had the hidden message that he was running throughout the whole of Terra to deliver to the Emperor, and he did it through a psychic vision instead in the end, and it showed that the Emperor would never win the fight. He had to die to win, so he wouldn't win, and because he couldn't see through this psychic veil. And he was playing chess, and he said you had a choice between all knowledge or all power, and it's a tough choice. Because I think he chose all power, which is pretty lame.
I haven't.
So anyway, how are you?
Sorry, go on. I thought you.
Go on.
I haven't got very far in the Horus Heresy. I think I got to like book 5 in the audiobooks.
It's
and then I kind of
incredibly long. There's so many spin-off things as well. Like you've got Nathaniel Garrow's little spin-off series on audiobook, which I've never heard. And then you have these limited books you can only get at special events, which means you can read as many heresy books, but if you haven't got these ones, you're fucked.
Games Workshop.
Yeah, they really do know how to. It's Black Library that's putting the books out, but it's their canon.
Yeah, I mean, we're still allowed to hate Games Workshop. It's called a hate Games Workshop.
Well, yeah, they're fucking expensive. I love that Forge World have models of the Primarchs. Not all of them yet. They're doing them slowly but surely. But they do Magnus, and not long after Warhammer 40,000 released their version of him, and it's like, why?
Magnus
Why bother?
With nipple horns.
Why did you do that? I don't understand the horns. Okay, it's this whole Egyptian feel. I get it, but if you've got horns in front of your chest and your weapon is a long staff with a blade at the end, so I guess it's like a spear, but not. And you bring that across your chest. Unless you bring it in a low sweeping arc, that weapon is pointless.
I guess it's. Yeah, but he's a psychic, isn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, but it's because it looks cool.
Yeah, it's all about that aesthetic pleasing, isn't it? That's why
style over substance.
Yeah, that's why he had his spine snapped by frickin' Russ.
Oh, actually,
because he was looking great, but that shit was rubbish.
What's your opinion on these Space Marines, the Primaris?
Oh, I mentioned it right at the start. Actually, I was like, it's just to me. It seemed like a way of rebooting Space Marines to make them relevant again.
But
they look amazing. I've got one next to me. I do think that they look a lot better.
Oh yeah,
I really do.
They look amazing, but lore-wise, it kind of pissed a lot of people off. You
know what? To me, if they're gonna do this, then what they really need to do now is turn the Emperor off. No, I'm not even kidding. Because if you're right at their introduction, only coincides with the 13th Black Crusade, which means nobody can now set up any kind of canon kind of battle themselves with them featuring in like the second Black Crusade, because it won't work. They'd have to only do it. They have a very small timeline window where they exist. The only thing logical to do now would be either to skip ahead 10,000 years and have the Emperor dead, or not, and just stagnate further. Or bring back another Primarch. Bring back the Lion. I mean, he's sat in a hole in a floating rock. Bring him back. Put him on the throne. He'll be fine.
I think we should
use the
just,
Astronomicum and get yourself a sat nav.
I think we should just make the Eldar the master race again.
Yes, I agree with that.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't mind little debaucheries, they fuck everything up. You know.
No, I'm a guardsman player. I am. So fuck you and your Space Marines, Imperial Guard.
I'm actually not. I mean, if I ever played Space Marines, I played Black Templars before they were cool, and then when they became cool, I moved on to their other second founding of the Imperial Fist, the Crimson Fists.
All right.
Because they're a very minimalist army, and I'm a very minimalist player. But I do like the Guardsmen. I really do. Because they're so easy to kill.
Fuck you. No, my armies. I've got 1 Shadow Sword, a Leman Russ, 3 Chimeras, a Valkyrie, and like 200 Guardsmen, and a few Stormtroopers before they got fucking kicked out.
I've got about 50. I like Imperial. If I ever did Imperial Guard, I'd want to redo my Mordian army. I loved Mordian, the way their armor, uniforms looked.
Yeah,
it was awesome.
Did you ever read the Mordian book Iron Guard?
I did not. I really wish I had.
It's one of my favorite Warhammer books, and I've got fucking like 50 of the bastards. It's such a good.
My very favorite Guardsman-related book was the trilogy Last Chances. 13th Penal Legion. That trilogy.
No, I've heard about them.
Fucking good. I could read that all day.
I started reading. I still haven't finished the Macarian Crusade. I've still got like the 3rd book missing.
I've got some next to me. I've got another one. The Ravener Omnibus. Yeah. Some Inquisitor crap.
Inquisition.
And I've got the Space Wolf Omnibus, Ragnar Blackmane. And I've got a Salamander book and Wrath of Iron, which are in a little pile next to me, because I've got to go through them because I haven't read them yet.
Christ, that's a lot of Warhammer books.
It's a couple days reading, that's all. You know, I'm a speed reader. It's fine.
I've tried to sound like a smart human being, and I've started reading a book on Bushido and ancient Carthage. So I got to put Warhammer.
That Japanese thing.
Yeah, the samurai like way of life thing. I found it interesting, so I thought, fuck, I'll read it.
Yeah, just the Magic the Gathering as a boost. Not even kidding.
Oh, great.
It's nice to know that has an origin story worth telling.
Well, the book's written by some old samurai retainer that became like a fucking hermit, so it's like 300 years old, the book. Well, the
if he was
original.
If he was in England, he wouldn't have been a hermit. He would have got a house and full benefits. And if he went to Poland, he would have been told to fuck off.
Yeah, probably. Everyone is miserable.
Actually, they probably would have stuck him somewhere to work and just screamed repeatedly, Chepti to cover mash.
I'm not even going to pretend like I understand that. I don't know much.
It means work faster, bitch.
I expect to hear that very soon.
Good. How is Poland, by the way?
Beautiful weather. Very, very clean. And Warsaw is gorgeous. If you're here on holiday...
white?
Yes. I saw like 1 black dude in my first 3 weeks. But if you're coming here on holiday, it's really good because £1 is like 5 slotty. So 20 quid here is 20 quid to you is like 100 to them. I mean, they get paid less, but it's great for holiday.
Right. Ragnar Blackmane got me into the books. That's good. That's actually really good. I'm reading the chat as well. I keep getting accused of never engaging with the chat.
You never engage with the chat. Sometimes
I actually loathe, to this day, I loathe the Ragnar Blackmane model miniature. It's a piece of shit. the generic pose from like the 80s. They could have easily had it so he had the eviscerator in both hands, charging. He'd look so much more menacing than, look at me, I got a gun and a sword. Dickhead. I kind of, yeah. I really wish they'd redo his miniature. They redid all the other Space Wolf stuff.
I never really, like, I like Space Wolves in the books because they come across as like more friendly to guardsmen, and I really do like guardsmen. But I
like warriors.
Never really got into like the other chapters. I think the only other chapter I like are the salamanders, and that's because I like fire. Like,
salamanders are awesome because of that. They're also like, they are seriously the token Black Legion. I quite like that. It makes me chuckle anyway. I think there was a picture I saw. It might have been in this magazine actually when I was perusing it. What the fuck is this? Goku's first miniature goes Gene Stealer Cult Hybrid Metamorph. Oh god, I remember those. The hybrid crap. Oh god. If anyone wants to look up Gene Stealer hybrids, I've still got some of those miniatures from, well, again, back in the day. But yeah, there was a picture of some Primaris Space Marines in Space Wolf colors, and they look fantastic. Oh, there's a picture of the robotic Willerman model with the Emperor's sword. The Emperor's sword, is his sword made of metal? Because if it's all on fire like that, it looks like it could just fall apart. Pretty damn beautiful. I also like that they've got a pre-heresy miniature of him as well, and obviously the more recent one in the new armor and, well, everything else. You got to think, poor Marnius Calgar has been in charge of the Space Marines for a while, right? And he's come back, and Robotic Willerman's come back from the dead, and he's like, oh fuck, he's taken my gauntlets that are his. Oh fuck, he's taken my job, which was already his. Well, what the fuck am I supposed to do then? Seems ridiculous. Some bitch. What's he called? Papa Smurf. If anyone's watched
Everybody
the
hates the Ultramarines.
Yeah, watch the Emperor's text. If the Emperor had text to speech, I think it's called. And he says,
I love that.
And can't wait for the next one. They did a whole live stream on Twitch before they released the episode, and it was brilliant. Just listening to them all talk shit.
See, I stopped watching it for such a long time that when I wanted to start watching it again, I've got to go through everything, and I don't have that much time.
Watching him go like, someone drops they drop something frozen, and the Emperor starts to cry. He starts talking about anesthetic, and crying, and when he cries, he just says "cry" or "sob," "sigh." And it's so funny. And the way they've actually taken so much of the good canon into that as well. It's brilliant. I'd love to see them introduce more, like the Emperor gets all gooey over a Centurion, who he later finds out is Rogel Dawn. That's brilliant. But they got some guardsmen in this with a Tech Priest engine seer.
Yeah, Tech Priest.
I'm not a fan. Never had. They're such dicks. They got some fantastic miniatures of freaking Titans. They're ridiculous. I can't do Apocalypse. It's too much. Yeah. It's hassle and effort and so much painting.
Yeah. Oh god, I love painting and I hate it at once because I find it really peaceful, but I also kind of hate spending 4 hours painting one fucking demonette. Like, great, my day's gone.
I spent way more time painting than I did playing.
I think that's a given. I think everyone does that.
Yeah, I enjoyed the painting more.
What did everyone talk about in the chat? Because I'm confused now.
Yeah, same. I was going to join in, but I'm totally lost. Are they talking about books?
Yeah.
Don't know. I'm not paying attention enough. You can roast me for that if you want to chat. I don't understand you. I was reading a magazine and trying to sound intelligent. How'd I do?
We believe you. Don't worry.
Oh, thank you. Hey, look, I managed to carry this on my own for like 5 minutes before I begged for you to come on.
I thought I'd better join because you seemed a bit bit lonely on your own.
I was
I
going to
was
play
okay.
something.
I was quite.
Then I saw
Honestly, it's really interesting just to see, because I haven't read White Dwarf probably since this time last year. I don't know why, but I keep buying one, and then I'll go away, and I'll come back, and I'll look at it and be like, oh, it wasn't as good as last year. What the fuck is all this shit? But then next year I'll be into this. But I can't afford any of this, fucking hell. There's some fantastic. I wouldn't mind getting my hands on some of the Custodians, because they've released those now. But fuck me. If you think Space Marines are expensive, look up a squad of freaking Adeptus Custodes.
Okay, I'll give that a look now and then swallow my wallet.
They're quite expensive. Oh, they're expensive. If you really want really fancy looking Imperial Guardsmen, look up Militarum Tempestus. They are the smexiest looking things ever.
Yeah, I've got a squad of them.
They're the coolest.
At home in England still. I think I use them as my elite choice.
I wouldn't mind getting my hands on a unit.
175 PLN. I don't know what that is in English. UK.
Custodians are more expensive than everything
35
else.
quid. 35 quid isn't bad. My fucking Shadow Sword was 60.
To be fair, that's a tank.
Yeah, it's awesome though.
35 quid for 5 miniatures, not worth it.
That seems so expensive to me.
Wasn't the Adeptus Sororitas really expensive?
I don't have £35 to blow on 5 miniatures. I had just had enough to spend that on a new desk chair, and that was about it.
See, I sold all my miniatures on eBay years ago. Because, like, all my mates I used to play with kind of grew out of it, and it was like, well, there's no point in me hanging on to them, and I kind of wish I hadn't sold them all now.
Yeah, I'm one of those people. I would rather I've never had friends that are into it, so it was always like a thing for me just to sit back and just enjoy. I've got a unit of Grey Knights downstairs that I've been meaning to paint for about 4 years.
Oh god, Grey Knights, fuck me.
I love the armor. I just love the armor. It's so good.
They look amazing. But I think it was like 4 years ago, I had like a large annex, like a mini bungalow basically to myself. And I invited 2 of my mates over for like a Warhammer drunk weekend. And one of them had Tyranids. We played apocalyptic points, like small scale. One of them had Tyranids. I had my Guardsman and my Tau working together. And my third friend used Grey Knights. And he had, I think, about 15 Grey Knights with the point equivalent of everyone else's, like, we're happy with this thing.
Yeah.
He dropped in at like turn 5 and got absolutely fucking raped by a Hive Tyrant, the burrowing ones. I can't remember its name. The really long ones, really big ones with the long tails that burrow. They're like fucking
Carnifex? Oh no, the Lictor.
No, the Lictor's the ambush one.
Ravener.
No, I'll get it in a minute.
Ravener.
And my Volcano Cannon.
The Ravener. They burrow and then they pop up underneath you, don't they?
No, it was the Trigon. That was it.
Oh, yeah, because that was a very, very, very unique miniature. But there are squads of Raveners that do the same thing.
Yeah, he had a Trigon, and he waited 5 turns, and then he got ass fucked in like 2 turns, and then had to sit out for 6 hours. Oh, it was great.
That's a day well spent.
It was wonderful. I had so much fun. I want to go back to England and do it again.
I never really got into these massive apocalypse games. It just didn't appeal to me.
Yeah, for normal people, but we had like a whole weekend, so we had nothing stopping us.
I once went into the Norwich Games Workshop, and they had a game day. And I thought, for once I'll play. So I put down my Emperor's Champion and my couple squads of Crimson Fists, and I was like, I'll take him along because I need to make up the numbers. I got nearly wiped out except for that Emperor's Champion and a couple Space Marines who were in cover. And he was just in combat the whole time, rolling armor saves. Every turn, rolling several armor saves, because it was just ridiculous.
I think everyone has a Warhammer story where they get their asses kicked horribly.
Oh, I think the very first game I played, I didn't know how to play, and I was asking how to play. They didn't teach me, and they thought I knew how to play, so they just raped me.
Oh, fuck me.
I was like, I did tell you I didn't know how to play, right?
I think that's
I
everyone's
seriously
first
don't.
game, isn't it?
Yeah,
I mean,
the Crawley Games Workshop, they try to mock me, and I'm like, I'm taller than all of you. I'm going to stand on you in a minute, you stupid cunt.
You may have kicked my ass, but at least I'm not fat and autistic, you bastards.
I know, you may have kicked my ass on this table, but I'm going to put you on this table and beat your ass with
I
my
would say
dick.
this, everyone takes the piss out of guardsmen because of how fucking fleshy they are. But if a squad of guardsmen is in a bunker and they've got first rank, second rank, they will destroy anything in front of them.
Those pussies in cover. There's no honor in that.
I don't have
Those
power armor.
hutaks. What bitches.
I really like demonettes though. The demonettes were fucking cool.
Yeah. I know a lot of people that were obsessed with painting demonettes. They're like, oh my god, I'm going to paint a nipple. Like, what?
I just got them because I really like Slanesh.
That really got... I liked the Sigvald, the Magnificent Chaos Warrior, because he was like a perfect human-looking kid. Just some petulant 200-year-old twat. And he was somehow gifted by Slanesh. Like, this little fuck is nothing. But his miniature was really nice. Kind of wish they'd kept him in the Age of Sigmar, but I think they wiped him out.
Fucking Age of
Can't
Sigmar.
imagine he survived the cult.
See, I tried reading my fiance's book on Age of Sigmar, where it's about the tree people who are like mixed between trees and elves, because for some reason they got rid of the elves, and I really couldn't get into it. I don't like Sigmar, Age of Sigmar.
Yeah, I was a huge fan of Wood Elves. Wood Elves were my thing. I loved them. They're amazing. Orion was a dick. I loved the Wood Elves. I thought there was just, I don't know, I felt they were superior to high-end Dark Elves. They were too busy fighting each other. The Wood Elves just there in their forest, having rumbles here and there.
Really rumbling in it.
I think I've still got one of the I don't know what they called them. I keep wanting to say tree ent, but it wasn't a tree ent, was it?
Oh, I know what you mean. The oh, fuck, I've played it so I've played Warhammer Total War so long I should fucking know it.
I don't know what they're called actually. I can't think. It's been too long. It doesn't matter. Yeah. Call Omegon a bastard on stream, please. Well, Artiface, you have the link on Skype if you want to do it yourself.
Omegon, you're a bastard.
Thank you.
I thought I'd do my part.
Yeah. I like that we're being asked if it's a public thing on Discord. Yeah, anyone can join. Not joking. I'm just streaming for like an hour and a bit.
There's Treekin, Dryads,
whatever.
and Tree Men.
Tree Men, that was it. Which made no fucking sense. Tree Ent would be better.
Yeah, I was going to say
Just appropriate. You have Lord of the Rings anyway. Just appropriate it from that game that you make and put it on the other one.
Yeah, but that's like how to piss off all the Tolkien fans in one fell swoop.
I've said this on Twitter so many times, but I will never drop it. The dwarves in The Hobbit look 100 times better than any dwarf in Warhammer.
I would say that they make a very special effort with the white dwarf miniature. The white dwarf miniature does look pretty cool, but I will admit, in The Hobbits, those dwarves, fuck me, they look amazing.
Black plate armor with fucking pikes and massive shields. That's the best dwarf ever.
And they actually played it they played the dwarf part properly by having them wear out. Because otherwise the dwarfs would have, they would have just made them look magnificent and never ending in energy, but they actually got tired. Which I think was good.
It was awesome. I fucking love the combat in the 5 armies.
Yeah, it was pretty damn good. The only thing I can never really get on board with the game version was that stupid courage crap. Oh, I've run out of courage. I think I'm just going to run away now. Get fucked. You're a coward. Piss off. I can't be dealing with any of that. It's hassle.
Lack of courage. You shouldn't be fighting in the first place.
Yeah, if your courage is like 1 and you fail it and run, please piss off. I don't. I think that's actually something with goblins. I think if there's not a large enough number of the goblins there, then they'll all just flee. Okay. I loved the Fellowship miniatures because I got them all through a magazine, bi-monthly magazine, and I collected all of them and painted them. They were amazing. I only actually wanted Gimli, but they look fantastic. That bitch was a tank. I also think it's funny that.
See,
Go on.
I was gonna say I wanted to play Lord of the Rings before I really got into Warhammer, but they kind of like I think by that time they pushed the Hobbit really hard, and they got rid of all the Uruk-hai and stuff, and just had like hobbits and goblins.
Oh, I still have a few sprues untouched from the magazine back in the day of Uruk-hai because I've got some still, and I really wanted to make my own Helm's Deep, and I was like, in my head, I would take this fortress better than the Uruk-hai did back then. Like, how would I do this? How would I do this? I know. I'll have some climb over the top of the mountain from the back and fucking just jump on those cunts. We'll call them Suicide Uruk-hai, and they're like falling chant of Willoughby Allahu Akbar. Just have one stomp on Theoden's head as his own shins go straight through the top of his skull on landing.
That sounds painful.
Yeah, but he'll be dead, so it won't matter.
Fair enough.
I quite enjoyed. Well, I love that someone did a full size reenactment of the whole Helm's Deep, and they were like 200 against 10,000. 3 turns later, we've won. Sorry, Theoden, bitch. Right, that made sense.
Oriki.
Kind of spoiled it all for us. The only difference, I guess, this time would be that if any of the Rohirrim, or not Rohirrim because they weren't there, warriors of Rohan failed the leadership test or whatever test, they've got nowhere to run. They'd literally just be running
Run
on
backwards
in
into their friends.
Yeah. Oh no, I can't fight anymore. I'm just going to run into you. And if you fail, you can run with me. Yeah. Save
Actually,
me from something.
That part in the film where the Rohirrim charged the fucking Uruk-hai with all those pikes, that was brave. It went like 100 times better than it fucking should have.
Yeah. The only reason they were successful was because that fucking sunlight. Lucky fucks.
I love plot armor. You're invincible as long as the story requires it.
Yeah. But then again, didn't they all knew in the Pelennor Fields battles, they knew the Rohirrim were going to die. They all said it. They were going to die there. But what do? They destroy the orcs. Fucking destroy the orcs. And then they get flummoxed by a few elephants.
Oh, just a few massive fuck off elephants.
I'm not making. I don't want them to make excuses. They should have won. Just bitch slap them. It's fine.
Yeah, but the Mamelukes are massive.
Put a little mouse on the floor. Put a mouse on the floor. Don't run away from it.
Oh fuck! Wait, what was it?
Legolas took one out on him.
Yeah, but Legolas is a hero. He's supposed to do cool shit.
Oh, you're such a dick.
I have a strong dislike for hero characters, but I do like Boromir. I know he wasn't a very long-lasting hero, but I like Boromir.
Okay, so everyone I knew hated Boromir in the original run, and then I got the extended versions, and I was like, "You need to watch this." Why? Because Boromir's not so much of a dick.
He's one of the best characters out the whole lot, isn't he?
The whole point of Boromir to me was to show that like humanity is corruptible easily, but they still have the strength to resist it. And most people were just like, he's an asshole.
Such a good warrior as well. I mean, watching him talk to his his father, the steward. His dad was a prick. It was very, very interesting.
The only time he needed a shield was the only time he didn't have his shield.
There is something very funny about that.
He's the only one of the fuckers with a shield, and he still got shot.
Bitch, should never have dropped it. Bitch, be like Captain America, have that thing clipped to his back at all times.
Oh.
Never gonna know when you might need a round shield.
Yeah, but it's Sean Bean in the film, so he kind of has to die.
Yeah, it's like he's fucking.
Yeah, it's like. Yeah, it's probably why I signed up for Game of Thrones. I'll be the other show that sort of reminded me a little of Lord of the Rings, but only if you kill me.
Kill me really early on as well.
He probably
No,
when he applied for the role, he was probably like, right, am I going to die? And then Martin probably looked at him and went, everyone's going to die. What are you on about?
But when he signed up, he was like, I've got to die soon because I'm going to marry my 5th wife soon.
I can't outlive any other important characters, okay?
Yeah. I don't want to make millions of dollars off this. I don't want it to be lucrative. I just want to die.
I know, but he does dying so well.
He got beheaded. It was beautiful.
Oh god, I remember. I think everyone's seen it, but it's like the end of the world happens, buildings collapse, the Earth's torn apart, and at the very end, Sean Bean crawls out of the rubble and laughs.
Yeah. It's okay though, because Chuck Norris will restart the Big Bang with one roundhouse kick.
He's such an asshole.
If you before my sister got a new telly here, his old Texas Ranger TV show would come on, right? And that is so bad. It's so cheesy, tacky, and oh my god. But I would watch it because I don't have a life.
You don't, or you didn't?
I don't have a life.
I don't have a life, but I've never stooped as low as watching that.
To be fair, you don't have like the best vision, so you can get away with not having to watch it. I have really good vision, and I'm compelled to watch this cringe. It is incredible.
No, go on.
Go on.
No. It was
I forgot what I was going to say.
Oh, for fuck's sake. I was going to say, I remember watching my granddad watch Xena, Warrior Princess, and that guy who was in God's Not Dead. Oh, God. Looking back at it, there was
what?
The guy who played the professor in God's Not Dead. He did Hercules, was it? I can't remember the actor's name.
Jason Sorbo.
Yes. Yeah. Sorbo. That rings a bell. Oh god, those shows were fucking terrible.
I know. Oh, but they were so bad. They were good.
Yeah.
But, probably about
Xena was
15 years ago.
When I was younger, Xena was amazing.
Yeah, I downloaded all of them and watched them back to back.
Oh my god.
But everyone, we need a strong female presence in science fiction. Like we never had that when we were younger. You know, even though not really science fiction, but fantasy was still sick. So, fuck it. Maybe an alien as well. It's okay.
Yeah. That's the thing. Everyone says, "Oh, there's no strong female characters in sci-fi," and everyone forgets about Ripley.
No, assholes forget about Ripley. Decent people always remember Ripley.
It's very interesting that they keep forgetting because people are still talking about introducing Ripley into the new franchise, new sort of rebooted series.
Those fucking films.
Or the new ones.
I've not seen Covenant yet.
Go and punish yourself.
I've seen the very first one that came out, whatever it was called.
Prometheus.
Yeah, I saw that. And that had like that weird looking alien guy thing. I was like, I don't know what this is. The fuck is this shit?
I dozed off and missed the first 20 minutes, I think, of Prometheus, and woke up and found out I'd missed nothing.
Can I spoil a few things about Covenant then, if you guys don't like it? Right. So they replace face huggers with mushrooms.
Really?
Yes.
Of course they do.
And it turns out that the aliens were originally a airborne virus that makes a parasite in the host, and the droid who survived Prometheus is the one who made the xenomorphs what they are. He
Really?
basically, yes, what he does. So you remember the engineers from Prometheus?
Yeah.
He flew that big ship from Prometheus to another engineer planet and dumped the virus on a whole civilization that apparently had no fucking defenses. And then he experimented with the virus to make the xenomorphs that we all know and love.
That's ridiculous.
Oh, it pissed me off so much. It's so angry.
That's terrible. I need to watch it now to verify this terrible status.
Yes, yeah, I know they're prequels to the Alien films, but that doesn't justify them being shit.
This is why people are talking about introducing Ripley, and it's like, do you really want to recast an iconic role?
Yeah.
If they do that, probably make it a black one.
A David one in a wheelchair, like from Avatar.
The diversity.
The thing is,
I know they're
if
prequels, but I still like. I was looking forward to Covenant Prometheus because I'm a fucking massive Alien nerd. I fucking adore Alien, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to see aliens attack people in space, and it's going to be like a massive sci-fi horror film. And oh my god, what is this? It's basically 24 fucking not minutes. It's fucking way longer than that. Sorry, it's like fucking a ton of time of just Ridley Scott wanking off about life.
On the Mega Drive, the Alien game, where every level you had to find all the people that were tied up before the time limit ran out and an alien exploded from their chest.
I remember playing Alien Trilogy, but I don't remember playing the first one.
It was so good.
An Alien game on the PS1 as well. You had like the beeping movement sensor.
Back in the day. Well, these games are really good.
Alien vs. Predator Extinction.
No, I never played it, but I remember watching Alien vs. Predator. That was an interesting film.
I like the AVP film. It's not great, but it's like a guilty pleasure.
When I watched it, I was like, okay, so Predator, even with Schwarzenegger, that Predator film, that first one, fucked me up in the head as a kid. Okay. and then I watched the second one, I was like, why am I looking at a guy's dick while he dangles from the ceiling?
I know, but Danny Glover was fantastic in the second one.
Oh, dear. But that guy's dick was dangling on the screen.
True.
Did they really have to put such a tiny tallywhacker out?
Because I was really excited when Predators came out and we went to the cinema to see it. Just so disappointing.
But it was cool in a way because that's like the first time in film you see the bad blood predators and not the normal predators, and that was really cool. I love bad blood.
The thing with Predator, like that first film with them introduced, that Predator was fucking good. Yeah. I mean, people say, "Oh, but it's got Schwarzenegger in it." I don't care. It was still good.
I think it was
fucked my head. It was perfect.
I don't remember. I remember reading the comics. Fucking as soon as I saw Predator.
It got diluted with lackluster writing. That does damage the series. No, the films, the sequels.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Shit.
I was so excited for Predators, but
because it was directed by Robert Rodriguez as well, so it had potential to be really, really good.
Mm-hmm. Well, it wasn't.
I know it wasn't.
That bastard. I wonder if they'll reboot Predator as well then.
No.
Yes, to trigger all the boffins.
They need to stop rebooting stuff and come up with some new ideas.
Don't reboot, just make better films.
At the moment, well, they only have superhero films at the moment. You know damn well, the moment Michael J. Fox kicks it, Back to the Future is getting rebooted. Even though they've sworn they would never reboot it.
I've never seen any of them.
The moment
I've never seen a Back.
You've never seen them?
Back to the Future 1 and 2 are fucking amazing. Especially with how they perceive 2015 to be. Because, to be honest, I'll be honest. Yeah, it's spot on. Hoverboards, yeah, we have those. Yeah, totes. And 3 was a bit weird, but I quite liked it.
3 was terrible.
I'd like to see. Part of me actually thinks a reboot would be kind of cool. Because we have quite a rich history, so it'd be good to go back to the past and, yeah, just stay there. Fuck it. Who needs social media when you can just sit around playing with your yo-yo? How hip am I? I bet I can make money off bets. I'd be like, well, I think this person's going to win this at this time in this place by this result. I'm going to be a millionaire. Don't need a book for that. Fuck it.
Do you know what would be a cool crossover? If they did like a nice, like totally not canon, just for giggles, a Predator film where they fight Astartes.
Yes.
Space Marines would get their asses kicked. Just saying.
I mentioned my sister got a new TV recently, right? It has this free service where you can watch loads of movies and TV shows for free, kind of like Netflix actually. And one of the films on there is Spaceballs. Now, a lot of people, if you haven't seen Spaceballs, it is funny as fuck, especially when a guy orders special soup and he kicks it and an alien comes out of him, puts on a straw hat, knickerbockers, and picks up a stick and starts singing. It is so funny. If in Aliens, right, when Ripley's got that alien thing in her, right? You remember that?
Yeah.
Right? And it finally emerges through her and it starts doing that. That would be so funny. That would be the best. Who the fuck is Seriously, I've got like this Twitter group and I get like 100,000 messages from it. I need to mute it when it messages me again. Piss off. Not interesting enough. I keep forgetting. Did Ripley have that alien rip through her skin in the end?
What, on Alien 3?
Yeah.
No, she jumped into the lead. Remember the Weyland Yutani guys came to take her away, and she jumped into the molten lead instead of, well, giving birth to the alien.
All right. Well, that's one hell of a way to go.
See, I'm going to say something really bad. I liked Alien Requiem. Or was it Requiem or Resurrection?
Resurrection.
That was it.
Resurrection.
I liked it. I thought the aliens were done really well, especially in that swimming scene.
Yeah, but
when they were underwater.
Winona Ryder was terrible in it, though.
The story sucked, but I like it as a film. I could sit back and watch it.
Yeah, I've seen it a few times, but it's not my favourite.
I didn't say I wasn't a dumbass.
Yeah, it's not as bad as people made it out to be.
Not compared to the new fucking Alien films.
I don't know what to say to that.
I would suggest watching Alien Covenant only to give yourself a rage hard on, because I was so angry, but I was loving it because I've not felt that angry in such a long time.
He's like, oh, this makes me so mad. Rub.
I kept pausing it every like fucking 15 minutes and turning around to my fiance and going, this film sucks. Why are you watching it? Because I fucking need to. I need to see what happens.
I need it because it's cheaper than Viagra. What?
Pornhub
Who said
doesn't give me this card.
I just like the idea that on Pornhub is a copy of Alien Covenant.
Watch the xenomorphs get fucked like they've never been fucked before.
Part of me thinks you probably would have loved Gene Stealers as a kid then. That style of alien, you know.
That would have been an interesting game.
Savage could have gripped my cock.
Did you ever watch the old Flash Gits animation of Space Hulk?
Yes.
Like before they were popular. I loved that. Was my fucking like introduction to Warhammer. I think actually was that animation.
I absolutely loved Space Hulk. and I love the like on Steam. I have Space Hulk, and I've got the Space Hulk the
Which
second
one?
version. I've got two versions. I've got the original, and then I've got the what the company made next, but I haven't got the newest version.
The newest one's not bad for like the first 3 levels.
Yeah, I've got. What was the second one called?
Was it Death? No, Deathwing's a new one.
Yeah,
I think I've got it as well,
whatever.
actually.
I stopped playing it because I got busy with other games, but I wanted to go back and play more. But the company then went bust and said they were only going to make DLCs for it, but they only made like 4 DLCs. I could do some more, to be honest. I want to complete it. It was actually really hard to play as well.
Yeah, oh god, I think that's why I stopped playing it, because I realised that like the Space Marines get like 3 action points a turn, 3 or 4, and the Gene Stealer's got like 8 or 7 or something. And it was like, this is so not fair.
I had
Getting my
to
ass
set up my heavy units always firing down the longest tunnels, but then stuff would come out the sides and I'd be like, fuck.
I know, it's like, just send in fucking guardsmen. I'd rather have 100 1-hit kills than fucking 5 2-hit kills.
Yeah. And the problem is these Terminators level up. So if you fuck a mission and one of your decent ones dies, you got to re-level a whole new one. Can't be doing with any of that. I can't remember what it was called. It would be opening Steam and I can't be bothered.
Well, I've only got Space Hulk and Space Hulk Deathwing. I don't have the other one.
Oh, fuck it, I'll check. Doesn't matter. Let's see, Eldar all the way. Yeah, Eldar probably would be pretty good in a Space Hulk setting. They're very. If you have Howling Banshees, those fuckers against Gene Stealers, now that's a fight.
Howling Banshees are my favourite Eldar unit. I fucking adore them. They are the best looking thing ever.
I mean, Howling Banshees, yeah, Jane Czar as well as a Phoenix. Oh, Phoenix, no.
Phoenix Lord.
Phoenix Lord. Yeah, Phoenix Lord. But I always had a bit of a thing for Dire Avengers.
They're alright. As a man, it's a little lot.
Yeah, it's just I
Is it
don't know.
Asherman or Assyrian?
Assyrian.
I think Assyrian's the god and Azerman's the Phoenix Lord, but I can never remember.
I couldn't. I think it's the other way around.
See, I left my book on it in England because I really liked that book.
Okay, well I'll just check.
Because it explains like the fall of the Eldar and the few who survived and what it looked like and how Jane Czar came to be, and it was really
Assyrian is the ruler of the Elven pantheon, so you'd assume the Eldar pantheon as well.
Yeah, so he's
Phoenix
the god.
King.
Azerman.
Phoenix King. Yeah. I could never deal with I fucking loathed, and they made a huge fuss about these years ago. Those fucking Reapers. Fuck off with that shit.
In the shooter Eternal Crusade, Reapers are fucking devastating.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me.
If you can camp down with a Reaper and switch to like the homing missiles that you can control and they're one-shot kills, you've basically fucking won. It's a sniper rifle you can't miss with.
Shit. Space Hulk Ascension.
Oh, what did you think of the Dawn of War 3 trailer when it came out? Because I blew my load actually on that.
When it came out, I went absolutely apeshit. Laura, everyone got a voucher because it's got mixed reviews. Everyone got a 50% off voucher, right? Laura Bones very kindly bought it for me for 20 quid. So I've got Dawn of War 3.
Right.
And I have yet to play it because my laptop can't handle it. And my tech won't be able to. I can't afford to replace this for a long time.
Oh, that sucks, man.
It's just one of those things. So I'm going to save up slowly, maybe a year or two, then I'll be able to. By then, hopefully, the game will be good. The reviews are very. The reviews are not great.
My mate bought it. He set a timer for 1 hour and 40 minutes so he could play as much of the story as possible, and like he blitzed through the campaign. Got a refund. It was like never again, never again.
Oh dear.
The Howling Banshees looked amazing in the trailer, though. They looked really well done.
Yeah, they do. Howling Banshee. When I played Dawn of War Retribution, for Howling Banshees, my friend always played with Eldar, and he'd produce those units only, and just run around the map molesting everyone. He's not a very kind player when it comes to being merciful. Whereas I
No.
was a bit more tactical.
Because the Dire Avengers with the mirror swords, they absolutely destroy vehicles as well. So you're like, hey, I've got a Baneblade. Oh, and it's dead.
I always like the idea of just being a bit more tactical, taking your time, being more defensive. And then if you ever played again, like we once were like, okay, let's see who's better. Me with all my banshees, i.e. him, or me being a bit more meticulous. Instead, to be a complete dick and go in the map we were in. It's just a 1v1 map, and we couldn't see where we were. I went around the entire outer edge of the map with him running into the middle, thinking I'd meet him there. I then destroyed it.
Oh, you bastard! That's a dick move.
It's him, and then destroyed his base, and I was like, suck on that.
Me and my friends used to play free for all on the capture mode quite a lot. I fucking put loads of hours in that fucking game. And one of my friends was a really bad loser, and he kept getting ass raped by my friend who was playing the Eldar as well. So he quickly rushed to their spawn point and put a ton of tarantula turrets down. So as soon as the units spawned, they'd get fucking suppressed and then shredded, and they couldn't reinforce quick enough. And it was horrible. I don't think we played with him since, actually, on that game, because he was right cunt about it.
Worth every last minute.
It was such a bastard move, though. Dawn of War 3 was supposed to be the hero of the Dawn of War series.
Well, I've heard it's not, but I would like to play it, find out.
It looks. If it wasn't called Dawn of War, then I think it'd be an alright game. But I think they've kind of sullied the Dawn of War name because people were expecting like the Dawn of War style.
It's not the same style?
No, it's being called like a MOBA. You've got like 3 lanes, and you've got to rush towers and capture points, and then shit like that. Apparently,
So it sounds like they've evolved the game, but not in a way people would have liked.
they got rid of cover and replaced the cover physics with bubble shields.
Really?
Yeah, the
cover was
the orcs and the Space Marines know how to activate Eldar bubble shields. Apparently, yeah, dude.
no. Hang on.
Watch some gameplay.
The Space Marines have an energy shield, kind of.
Yeah, but these
and orcs will obviously have stolen it.
These bubble shields are stationary in the thing. They're Eldar tech that are just sitting there on that.
Okay.
Yeah, dude, watch some videos of people playing it.
I think Jeff did once, and I said to him I'd kick his ass at it. I've been playing Dawn of War since it started. If you go on Steam and look at my account, the number of hours I've got on Retribution.
798. Checked when I was seeing if you had Warhammer as well.
How many?
798 hours, it said, on Retribution.
Is that mine?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my life right there. I was really happy when they brought out the Necron Overlord for Last Stand.
I've not used
nuts on that. I used to love that stuff.
Did you ever use the Vengeance of the Blood Angels mod for Retribution?
No.
You're fucking missing out, dude. It basically, like, the Space Marines get 100 unit cap, but like the Imperial Guardman gets like 600 unit cap because it's a squad of 5 Space Marines will rape like 4 squads of Guardsmen before the Guardsmen kill a single Space Marine. It's like completely overdone. And you can only damage vehicles with vehicle weapons.
How many Imperial Guard units it would take down a Primarch? You're going to need a planet.
Primarch? I'd say fuck that and use it.
Fuck it, it's calling Exterminatus. See if that Primarch can handle that motherfucker.
Actually, that's one thing that really made me annoyed during the Horus Heresy books is when they started killing off the loyal Marines, and they were on the planet when they started bombing it with like a virus bomb or something. That bit was sad. It was like book 3.
Yeah,
that bit was.
Yeah, it was the fall. It was the third planet.
That Dreadnought tried to save him.
Oh, who saved who?
The Space Marines that was on the Loyalists that were on the planet, they were running into the bunkers, and one of the doors wouldn't close. So one of the Dreadnoughts said he'd wedged the door, and he was safe because he was encased. But the guy stayed outside with him, and it turned out that he was cracked. So he died as well.
It's called Ispan 3, by the way.
For the planet.
And there was a Loyalist that did survive the bombing. Survived all of it. And he later became a Grey Knight.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
You know who it is?
No. Oh, it's not
Garviel Loken.
No, I don't know him. I don't think.
He is the main character for the first 3 books.
No shit.
He was the guy that he joined the Mournival with Horus. He's the guy that fought Abaddon in the third book.
I remember that. I remember the Mournival.
Yeah, Garviel Loken.
Oh.
And he survived the whole thing. And Malcador knew this, so he sent Nathaniel Garrow to that planet to find him. He was then calling himself. He was kind of mad, insane. He was calling himself Cerberus. And when they finally managed to remind him of who he was, he eventually joined as a knight errant. He even stood face to face with Horus one more time, in fact, which was brilliant. Pretty damn cool, I think.
I didn't know that.
Let's see. So I'm scrolling through the books right now because there are some books here that I have not read. But the reason I haven't read them isn't because I couldn't get hold of them. Not because I didn't want to read them, but because I couldn't get hold of them. Sorry. That annoys me because some of these books. I think some of these books are a bit harder to get hold of. But what I really like are any books that talk about Primarchs, because those books are like really cool. Yeah, just anything to know more about a Primarch is really fun.
Primarchs are all right, I suppose.
Yeah. See, I'm scrolling through, and they've got stuff on the Wolf King, which is cool. Deathfire, War Without End, Force. So hang on. The book on it's an anthology, so yeah, that's gonna be boring. Pharos, Meduson, that's more about the Iron Hands, no doubt. The Silent War, that would be about the Knights Errant, which would have Garviel Loken in fact. Angels of Caliban. Yeah, some pretty good shit here. The Master of Mankind, yeah, that's what I'm reading. Well, they've finally done a full book of Garrow rather than a audiobook, which is good. There's some good shit here.
I need to start reading the rest of the shit, the Tanith First and Only. Gaunt's Ghosts. That's it.
Oh, Gaunt's Ghosts books are so good.
I've only read the first one. I'm really need to read
to funds towards a new computer. I'm not sure I could do that. Striking Scorpions, though, are really cool.
There they are.
I will admit. I've got a whole box next to me of them that I've had for a long, long time. Yes. Was there anything else we could talk about?
I say we ask Peculiar. She has been awfully quiet.
Sorry, sidetracked looking at stuff online. I was going to say, are the books worth actually reading? I read the original Chaos ones, but then kind of got sidetracked with other stuff and have not gone back to them.
Horus Heresy is a fantastic series. I've been reading that series since 2007 because that's how long it's been going for. But yeah, if you start from the beginning, then it's worth it.
Get Iron
It's
Guard.
just an interesting read. and it also goes in so many different directions, different aspects, different elements of the entire heresy, which is brilliant. It really is.
Yeah, because I need something new to listen to audiobook wise. So, because I've just finished listening to the Wayward Pines
Well, if you
trilogy.
think that's interesting, wait till Monday when I put out a video on intersectional quantum physics.
What the fuck is that?
It's so boring.
It sounds it.
Oh.
I've already
There was a
gone
whole
soft.
segment talking about bell hooks as well, and the whole why internet feminists shift the goalposts so much. Oh, so boring. But I finished it because I was well enough. I was like, yes, rendered. I started the video today on grooming sex gangs. Yes, ad friendly.
How do you make that ad friendly?
You can't. There, I've got right. No joke. Earlier, I went and checked on tomorrow night. I'm doing a stream on my main channel, and I went to go and check on something because I was trying to find out if there was any echo coming from my computer or not. So what I did was I set up a crappy little stream on my main channel unlisted, so I could hear it all back. And when I went to look at the pre sort of set up stream with myself, Artiface, Misa, and maybe Peach Bailey if she's available, I noticed it's already been demonetized. I'm not even kidding. How the fuck? I can't prove it now, but I will later. But it's like, why?
YouTube just don't like you.
Apparently not. Well, that's not surprising. I checked my monetization for the last month. It's gone from quite a lot. Well, not a lot, just enough to sort of, I don't know, I think it's about a week's pay for what I earn doing real work, to now almost zero. That's nice.
That sucks completely.
I am propped up by my Patreon bosses. One of them is in this stream.
You're a bastard. Right. Whoever you are.
Yeah, I know, right? Total bastard. How dare they?
Well, I can take my money away.
Don't even think about it.
Do it. Make him suffer.
Anyway, I'm getting really sleepy now, so I'm going to end this, okay?
Yes, sure thing. Thank you for inviting me.
You want to say anything before we leave?
Power armor is for pussies.